The Nintendo Switch Lite recently released, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna get it. But that doesn't mean it's a horrible console. Let's talk about it. Also, I found out a way to make transitions on my videos from my editing software. Comment below if you like them. The Switch Lite was released on September 20th, 2019, and a lot of people have been giving it some mixed reviews. But I think that the people who already have a Switch have the wrong perspective. The Switch Lite is supposed to be a more affordable option for people who probably couldn't get the Switch. It is $100 cheaper, making it $200 and not the $300 price, which is the Switch. I think it's not meant for people who already have a Switch, because there's no games that are just for the Switch Lite. There are actually less games for the Switch Lite. You can't play 1-2 Switch, and I don't think you can play Mario Party alone or with friends on the Switch Lite. So I think the people who are giving it bad reviews or mixed reviews who already have a Switch aren't seeing it from the perspective of someone who maybe doesn't have a Switch. For someone who can afford a Switch Lite is the perfect option. You can play most of the big titles like Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild and still have the same experience. And it's more portable. So I'm gonna see some pros and cons of the Switch Lite and determine if it really is a decent console. The Nintendo Switch Lite has some really strong points and some really good pros. So I think we can break it down into three main categories, or three good pros that the Switch Lite has. The first is a better price tag. It is $100 cheaper, making it $200 and not the $300 price tag for the standard Nintendo Switch. I think that this is really good for people who mainly couldn't afford the Nintendo Switch, and it allows much more people to come into the Switch family. They could buy more games and have more fun. I think it's really cool, and it could bring the Switch community together a lot. The next pro is better battery life. The Switch doesn't have that great of battery life when it's a portable, so it's kind of annoying when my battery goes out really fast. But seeing that the Switch Lite is a more portable console, it was smart to give it a better battery life. It may not be that much more, but it's definitely a better battery life. Now, another small pro that I think that I didn't mention in the three main ones because it's not a huge one, but I think that the D-pad is a really cool pro to have, because the regular standard Switch didn't have a D-pad, and I feel like the little buttons got kind of annoying, and they would get stuck, and I have to press them really hardly to get them out. And the only way to get a D-pad was to get the Pro Controller. So I think that having the D-pad on the Switch Lite makes for a more pleasant experience. The last main pro is its portability. Seeing that the Switch Lite can't go in the dock, and it's a bit smaller, shows that it's a true portable console, just like the 3DS, and not like the Switch, where it can go in the dock, you can take the Joy-Cons out. The Switch Lite is a true portable console. This is very good where you can maybe put it in a bag and bring it wherever you want, but it's also a little bit of a con too, and this is where the cons start to come in. Seeing that it can't go in the dock, it can't charge, it's really hard to charge while you're playing. This does kind of contradict the title of the Switch, where it is only portable and you can't switch it to the TV and dock mode. So this is where the cons start to come in. So then there are three main cons too for the Nintendo Switch Lite. The first is that it loses so many good features of the Switch. Lost HD Rumble, which was really cool in like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and other games. It loses the IR camera, so that disables it to play some of the Labo games, and it loses some other features too, like dock mode also. Another con is that the drift. Drift was a huge issue for the Nintendo Joy-Cons. I think there was a class action lawsuit against Nintendo because of it. I know fans don't like it a lot because it's so annoying and kind of ruins the experience almost. I got new Joy-Cons because they were so annoying and they still didn't work. So I like how Nintendo's allowing fans to bring in their Joy-Cons to be fixed, but it just doesn't feel right. And that's why fans got mad because the Switch Lite had drift and it doesn't have Joy-Cons. So you're kind of stuck with the drift. If only you could send in your Switch Lite. Hopefully you can do that. The last main con is its inability to switch. I don't know why they still call it the Switch Lite when it can only go a portable console. You can't put it onto the TV, you can't switch out the Joy-Cons because there are none, and it's just kind of annoying how you can't switch it. It's not a Switch anymore if there's only one way to play. Not getting a Switch Lite is a no-brainer for someone who already has a Switch. There's no new games just for the Switch Lite, and it's basically just the Switch just downgraded a little bit. So I think that the people who already have the Switch and are reviewing it have the wrong perspective. But I do think it's a very good console for people who couldn't afford the Switch. All in all, am I gonna get the Switch Lite? No. Is it a bad console? No. It's just made for certain groups of people. And yes, it's a great console, but for a certain group of people. Thanks for watching. Potato Sensei out.